Hello everyone, welcome back to Ella's ESL English. In today's lesson, we're looking at 15 common English idioms that describe people. These expressions can help you talk about someone's personality, their habits and behaviours. You may already know a few of them, like, for example, an early bird or a night owl, but I'm sure there'll be some new ones too. I'll explain each idiom clearly and give you an example so you can understand how to use it naturally. You ready? Let's get started. A social butterfly. A social butterfly is a person who's very social and enjoys being with people. So they love to meet new people, join in conversations, and often move easily from one social group to another. Now, all of these idioms are nouns, so in a sentence they replace a word like man or woman or person. So we say, he or she is a social butterfly. For example, Sarah is such a social butterfly. She knows everyone at the party. He's a real social butterfly and can strike up a conversation with anyone. I'm not a social butterfly like my brother. I prefer quiet nights at home. So what about you? Are you a social butterfly? Next up, we have a pain in the neck. A pain in the neck. A pain in the neck is someone who is very annoying or difficult to deal with. They often make situations harder than they need to be. For example, my little brother can be a real pain in the neck when I'm trying to study. Jan complains all the time. She's such a pain in the neck. That customer keeps changing his order. He's such a pain in the neck. Number 3 is a bookworm. A bookworm. A bookworm is a person who loves reading and spending a lot of time with books. They're usually very enthusiastic about learning new things and often prefer reading to other activities. For example, Sarah is such a bookworm. She finishes a novel almost every weekend. My uncle is a bookworm, and he has a huge bookshelf in every room. When I was a child, I was a real bookworm, and I preferred libraries to playgrounds. Do you know any bookworms? Next up is a drama queen. A drama queen. A drama queen is someone who gets very upset or emotional about small problems. They make things seem worse than they really are, and they like a lot of attention. For example, don't be such a drama queen, it's only a little cut. You don't need to cry, it's not a big deal. Don't be a drama queen. She gets very upset over small things. She's a bit of a drama queen. Number 5 is a chatterbox. A chatterbox. A chatterbox is someone who talks constantly or too much, often about things that aren't very important. For example, my little cousin is a real chatterbox. She never stops talking. James used to be so quiet, but now he's become quite a chatterbox. I couldn't concentrate with a chatterbox sitting next to me during the exam. Next idiom is a nosy Parker. A nosy Parker. A nosy Parker is someone who always wants to know what's happening in other people's lives. And they often ask personal questions or listen in on conversations that don't concern them. So, for example, my neighbour is such a nosy Parker, she always watches us from her window and asks what we're doing. Our colleague Linda is a real nosy Parker. She knows about everyone's private lives. Don't be a nosy Parker. If they wanted you to know, they would have told you. Next up is a backseat driver. A backseat driver. A backseat driver is a person who gives too many instructions or advice when it's not their job. The phrase comes from someone sitting in the back of a car telling the driver what to do, like turn here or slow down. But in everyday life, we can use a backseat driver to describe someone who always tells others what to do, even when they're not the one in control. So, for example, when I was painting the wall, my sister stood next to me and told me how to do it better. What a backseat driver! Our director is a real backseat driver, giving constant instructions to experienced staff. Please stop telling me how to do my job. You're such a backseat driver. Number 8 is a tough cookie. A tough cookie. A tough cookie is someone who is very strong, resilient, and determined, especially in difficult situations. This person doesn't give up easily, and they handle challenges well and often stand up for themselves. For example, my grandmother is a tough cookie. She lived through the war and raised 6 children on her own. After surviving that accident and going back to work a week later, it's clear he's a tough cookie. Even after losing her job, Maria didn't complain. She just found another one. She's a tough cookie. Next idiom is a smooth talker. A smooth talker. This person is someone who can convince you to do things you hadn't planned on doing. They talk in a persuasive and charming way. They are good with words and they know how to say things that sound nice or convincing, but sometimes they may not be sincere. For example, she's such a smooth talker that she convinced the landlord to lower the rent. The salesman was such a smooth talker that I ended up buying something I didn't need. Watch out, he's a smooth talker who can get you to agree to anything. Do you know any smooth talkers? Number 10 is a worrywart. A worrywart. A worrywart is someone who always worries too much, even about small or unimportant things. They are often nervous and afraid that something might go wrong. For example, my sister is such a worrywart. She calls me every hour if I don't text her back. She turned into a worrywart after becoming a parent. Don't be such a worrywart. Everything is going to be fine. Are you a worrywart or do you know someone who is? Next up is a big shot. A big shot. A big shot is a person who is very important or powerful. Other people listen to them and often follow what they say. A big shot can be a boss, a famous person, or someone with a lot of money or influence. For example, Maria became a big shot in the tech industry after launching her successful app. My uncle's a big shot in the film industry, so he gets invited to all the premieres. He thinks he's a big shot because he drives an expensive car. Next up is a bad apple. A bad apple. A bad apple is someone who negatively influences others. They behave badly or dishonestly and have a negative influence on others in a group or organization. For example, he's a bad apple, always gossiping and turning co-workers against each other. She used to be cheerful, but after hanging out with that bad apple from her neighborhood, her attitude has changed completely. I don't trust him around my kids. He's a bad apple with a history of reckless behaviour. Next is a live wire. A live wire. A live wire is just someone who's full of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. They often bring life to a group and can make any situation feel more lively and fun. For example, we hired Jenny for the team because she's a real live wire and keeps everyone motivated. Grandpa is a live wire even at 85. He loves to dance and sing. The meeting was boring until Meg, who is a live wire, arrived and motivated everyone. Number 14 is a tight ass. A tight ass. A tight ass is someone who doesn't like to spend money, even when they should. They're very stingy with money. They hate spending and often refuse to pay for their fair share. For example, you're being a real tight ass. Just buy your kid an ice cream. He is such a tight ass, he won't turn the heater on even in the middle of winter, and his wife hates that. Stop being a tight ass and buy your mum a nice birthday present. And number 15 is a know-it-all. A know-it-all. A know-it-all is someone who acts like they know everything, often giving advice or correcting others, even when it's not wanted. This kind of person can seem annoying or arrogant because they don't listen to other people's opinions. For example, she's such a know-it-all, always interrupting and correcting people. Jen's new boyfriend is such a know-it-all, I can't stand having a conversation with him about anything. No one likes working with Tom because he's such a know-it-all. He always talks over others in meetings. Just before we finish, I have a couple of dialogues with these idioms in them, so you can hear them in conversations. The first one is a conversation in the workplace, and the second one is a conversation at a family barbecue. And then after that, it is quiz time where you'll get to fill in the gaps with the correct people idiom and then check your answers.
Hey, have you noticed how Sophie has become such a social butterfly lately? She's always at someone's desk chatting.
Oh, absolutely. She's friendly, but sometimes she's a bit of a chatterbox. I can't get any work done when she's around.
True. And then there's James. Ugh, he can be such a pain in the neck, always complaining about every little thing.
I know. And what about Mia? She's such a drama queen. If the coffee machine breaks, you'd think the world was ending.
Exactly. And then there's Kevin. He's a total bookworm. You'll find him reading during lunch instead of talking to anyone.
Yeah, but I like that about him. At least he's not like Emily. She's such a nosy Parker, always peeking at other people's screens.
Oh, yes. And remember when she tried to help with your presentation? She was acting like a backseat driver, telling you what to do every step of the way.
Yep, that's Emily. Honestly, our office is like a soap opera.
How's your family doing these days?
Oh, same as always. My sister Anna is still a tough cookie. She's had a rough year, but nothing seems to break her spirit.
That's Anna for you. What about your cousin Luke?
Luke? Still a smooth talker. He can charm anyone, especially when he's trying to get out of helping with chores.
Sounds familiar. Any worrywarts in the family?
My mum, for sure. She worries if I'm 5 minutes late, if the weather looks cloudy, everything.
And who's the big shot at family gatherings?
Definitely Uncle Rob. Always talking about his expensive car and how important his job is.
Do you still have a bad apple causing trouble?
Sadly, yes. My cousin Matt can't seem to stay out of arguments.
At least you've got a live wire to keep things fun.
Oh, that's my little niece Sophie. She never stops moving, dancing, talking, laughing.
And let me guess, you've got a tight arse in the mix too.
Yep, Grandpa Joe. Won't spend a cent unless absolutely necessary.
And of course, every family has a know-it-all.
My brother Tom corrects everyone, even the TV.
Okay, everyone, so it's quiz time. So what you'll see are sentences with a gap fill, and you need to put in the correct people idiom in the space. So pause the video to do this, and then once you've done all of the sentences, you can check your answers. Here are the answers. Well, that's it for this lesson. So now you've learned 15 English idioms for describing people. These expressions are a great way to make your English sound more natural, interesting, and expressive. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Do you know any other English idioms that describe people? Share them in the comments below. You might even teach the rest of us a new one. If you enjoy this lesson, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Keep practicing your English, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.